because of the rules changes, because of some of the way the rules have made it more friendly to steal bases, all these numbers are up, especially the raw totals. The stolen base is cool again, and as a result, teams are attacking, trying to catch those thieves a little bit differently. And yesterday, we were talking about this with Dexter Fowler, CY. We're talking about how catchers are being taught to throw to the bag a little differently. And you said, you know what? I'm going to call a guy, and we're going to get some good information on this. And you picked a good one because we're going to be joined by a guy who was known as one of the best at limiting the base running game.
Yeah, and I think it was important. When you talked to me about it yesterday, I said, you know what? I was an outfielder, and when I'm on this side of the game, I don't want to go out there talking about something that I'm not fully highly knowledged in.
Right.
And so I said, you know what? I'm going to call some guys and really get some inside understanding of what's going on. So I actually called quite a few guys around the league to see if this was something that was going on. And what I learned over time, when you have that spike in 2023 of success rates from base runners, at some point you understand that the league is going to adjust. The league has to make some type of adjustment to try to combat the rule change that have come into play, because you can't, if you have guys still at an 80% success rate, that's not going to be sustainable for any defense to be able to prevent runs at any kind of way. So as we start to dig into it, you start seeing the little things that teams are doing to try to make an adjustment. It all starts with, I want to go back before instant replay and before some of the rule changes came into play and see what were guys doing previously. This is not to knock the players. This is what the norm was. I mean, this is the best, one of the best to ever do it. Derek Jeter, middle infielders regularly set up right at the bag, straddling the bag a little bit, and what you found is that base runners had a little extra time to try to catch that back corner on the base. And other times, you saw guys getting tagged on the behind. This is before instant replay right there. In that last video, you saw the player get tagged on behind. He's called safe right there. Now, in today's game, you see that guy is actually out. But to the naked eye, when the umpire is sitting there trying to gauge it out, you see the player pass the fielder, and you're assuming, oh, he must be safe. What's happening in reality, those guys are out. So this is where I made the phone calls, and I'm talking to Martín Maldonado, and he showed me this is what we do now. And so, you know what, let's just go ahead and bring Maldy.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just bring Maldy in. Hey, Maldy, what's up, man? This, everybody at home is one of the best to ever do it. When I played with Martín Maldonado with the Angels, he was the best in the league, 49% catching guys. Luckily, I wasn't on the other team. I would have been taking bags on them all day. But Martín Maldonado was one of the best in the league. It kept him in the game for a very long time. So, Maldy, appreciate you joining us. Tell us where you are right now. Tell us where you're joining the world from.
I'm in Puerto Rico, just about home. I'm enjoying the family time right now.
Yeah, man, and love to see it. And I really wanted to bring you in for this, and you pretty much be a guest analyst for us for the day. And I wanted to bring in some video and have you talk about what you're seeing in the game. But before we get to the video, what are the things that you've noticed? What are the 3 things that you've noticed happening throughout the game that really affects the success rate of the running game?
I think personally, the first thing I come onto my mind, is the way now that you're only allowed to pick over two times, during the runners at first base. So that's one of the things. Second, I think the shift, before you used to have the shortstop covered in for the most part, because a lot of left-handed hitter playing that shift. Second baseman, it was a little more straight up to the base instead of getting to the base, stopping, fielding the ball. And also, too, I feel like, calling the pitch framing right now, you got to hold back a little bit to get this ball for a strike. And, I think those are the things that change. I've been changing inside the new rule. And now you got to add the new rule now where the second baseman can build the base or can have the foot in front of the base.
I love that, Maldy. And when we're over here in the studios, we're outside the game a little bit. So when Matty comes to me and he says that he's recognizing something that baseball players are doing and wants to get a little insight of it, I want you to look at this video with us and see if you're noticing the same thing that we're noticing here on this side as far as where the middle infielder is setting up and where the catcher is trying to throw the ball. So right here, this is what you're seeing from some teams. This is still the quote-unquote old school way of middle infielders setting up right over the bag, and you're seeing guys be safe. And then right after this, we're going to see the new wave of what catchers are trying to do. And if you look, he's throwing the ball up the line and really trying to catch that runner as early as possible, because you're understanding with instant replay, even if you tag him on the foot, there's a high chance that he's out. So you really don't have, hold on, who is this guy? One of the best in the game we had to show Maldi just a little bit of love, absolute cannon. And when I'm watching you, Maldi, you're kind of in between. So let us know what your thinking was leading up to this point as far as where you're trying to leave the ball and what you want to see from your middle infielders.
I think, first of all, you can try to throw the ball normally, I would say, towards the base and 3 feet towards first baseline, to the first base side. So just because, I think you give a better option to the runner, to the fielder, to tag the runner even on the foot that you're saying. But overall, you tend to throw to the base, slightly over to the right side of the infield. So just because the replay right now, I think that also the new rule where the base, you're not trying to build the base. So I think give you a little more room for error. Even if you make a bad throw, you still got a chance to go throw the runner out.
So, Martín, it's been my understanding, and this is where CY's research was so great, that as he pointed out, you're not setting up for a throw here. If you're a second baseman, and because of shift rules being what they are, sometimes you're on your way to cover the bag, and catchers are being instructed not to put the ball here, but to put the ball here for that swipe tag, and because replay is going to give you a little leniency on maybe getting a foot or an ankle. Is that how catchers are being taught now? Hit the defender moving to the bag as opposed to ball right here?
Yeah, like you're saying before with the Chief, the second baseman was right where CY was. And all you do was go straight to the bag. Now you have to go there, stop, and then try to field the ball. So I think you cut that distance that he doesn't have to go all the way to the bag, instead of giving like that major area of 3 feet where he can tap the runner out.
Yeah, I think I'm understanding what you're saying because pre-shift rules, the shortstop or the third baseman was always in this position, Matty, to where you could come up in front of the base and be in a great position. You're right here, glove side, great position to make a tag. Now, if you're a second baseman, it's tougher for him to have to get all the way from his double play stance to get in front of the runner into position while the ball is coming in. That's asking for a collision or asking for some type of trouble when the ball gets away. So I think that's what Maldi is saying, that if you can have the shortstop covering or you can get that guy into this position right here, your chances of having success is way higher. Is that how you would cap it off, Maldi?
100%. It's way higher to be able to throw the runner out, especially with the limited attempt of trying to pick the guy over.
Really good stuff, man.
Yeah, that was
hey,
awesome.
we want to get you on to do this again, Martín, because the next thing we want you to teach us about is how teams are putting on pickoff plays based on the pitch timer.
Yeah,
right? Everybody sees the clock. Hey, when it's at 4 seconds, I'm coming to you. So stay where you are for another week or so. Don't leave.
Right.
And CY's going to get a hold of you again. We'll have you do another promo, another demo with us from Puerto Rico.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you,
We appreciate
Maldi.
you, man. Thanks for being with us.